Jack Smith faces his first major defeat in his case against Trump. And we, of course, celebrate that because he looks like General Zod. Trump must be happy. We'll go over all of the details on this. But first, thanks for joining us here in Exile. I'm Doug. Thank you for subscribing. You've been growing this channel. That grows my career. That brings more news. So everybody wins. So don't forget to subscribe. Let's tear through these headlines real quick. This is what's blowing up in the news and going viral right now. The Hill. Court limits Jack Smith's access to Scott Perry's cell phone contents. NBC News. Appeals court partially blocks ruling on Rep. Scott Perry's phone. New York Post. Federal court denies special counsel's access to Rep. Perry's 2020 election communications. And the New York Sun says Jack Smith suffers his first January 6th defeat, and it could provide Trump with a template. So that's the one that we're going to break down. What does it mean? Let's do the headline once again, just in case you missed it. Jack Smith suffers his first January 6th defeat, and it could provide Trump with a template. Here's the article. An appeals court rules that a congressman's text messages expressing doubt about certifying the 2020 election are constitutionally protected. So you can't prosecute them if they're protected. That's all there is to it. And this is a congressman. Now, I don't think a congressman should have more rights than us. Here we go. The decision of an appellate panel to rebuff special counsel Jack Smith's request for phone records from a congressman, Scott Perry, puts into sharp relief the challenge of breaching the constitutional privileges of Congress. Here's a quick picture of Scott Perry, just so you can see what he looks like. They're trying to get Scott Perry's phone messages from when he was meeting with Trump right around J 6th in 2020. They think they're going to reveal him trying to undermine the election, which is just purely. Here's court blocks Jack Smith's access to many of Rep. Scott Perry's contacts. This is Jack Smith. He's trying to get into a guy's phone messages. Fair enough. He thinks there's some smoking gun in there. The appeals panel concluded that prosecutors' effort to access cell phone communications with colleagues' officials violated the lawmaker's constitutional immunity. Now, Jack Smith and all Democrats do not believe in constitutional immunity. They love the idea. They don't believe in First Amendment rights. They believe the Constitution is a living, breathing document that you can change at your whim.
No constitutional right, in my view, including my oath, is intended to be absolute.
They only believe it really applies, the terror of it applies against Republicans. Against Democrats, no such rules. But the good news is there's enough of a court still to push back on Jack Smith and say, hey, buddy, back off. Can't do it. That makes me happy. Anytime they are embarrassed and exposed as being against the Constitution. But what do you think? Do you think that a judge like Jack Smith, like we should be able to get at people's emails, personal messages? Remember, our side's trying to get all of Hunter Biden's emails. But what do you think is specifically about this for Trump? Will this work against Trump? Will they be able to peel off enough of Trump's allies and get them to rat him out when you just now have Scott Perry pushing back on the government? Let me know if you're still in this for Trump. Are you still rooting for him? I got to hear from you in the chat. I haven't heard much. We're going to give a great big thumbs up for Trump. Let me know in the chat. I'm Doug in Exile.